Despite the nostalgia, I have a lot of mixed feelings about Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. It's not that I dislike the 1988 Nintendo game, but 3 decades later and I still find myself disappointed by the switch from overhead adventure to 2D side-scrolling. There's just something about that perspective that doesn't go well with role-playing games, as I learned from Zelda 2, Faxanadu, and even the third book of Ys. Although I've always had a hard time warming up to side-scrolling adventure games, I was still eager to play Gunmetal Arcadia from Minor Key Games. This is a confusingly named roguelike that takes a lot of inspiration from that second Zelda game, creating a fun and fast-paced adventure with authentic 8-bit graphics and a killer chiptune soundtrack. You take control of Vireo, a brave soldier who helps the tech elves of Arcadia push back at the evil Unmade Empire. He does this by fighting through 4 randomly generated stages in an attempt to find hidden treasure and take down the numerous bosses. He's joined by a whole host of playable characters, including a purple warrior named Grackle, and the game's mandatory Link wannabe, Wayfarer. While it certainly looks a lot like Zelda 2, Gunmetal Arcadia is nowhere near as deep or as involving. The goal is to hack and slash your way through all of the enemies and upgrade the soldier along the way. You do this by not only opening up treasure chests, but also by purchasing new magic spells and character buffs in the various stores. Although the adventure is short, you'll be able to customize your hero with more than 75 items and accessories. It's easy to write off a lot of the pickups as being useless weapons or magic spells you'll never use, but the upgrades do go a long way to make the game more playable. A good example of this is a perk that allows Vireo to slash both up and down, something you don't get at the start of the game. This turns out to be one of those invaluable items that sometimes doesn't show up, making an already challenging game a whole lot more frustrating. The big problem involves the enemy placement. Without those upgrades and new abilities, our hero is forced to take way too many cheap hits. You'll constantly find bad guys camping at the top of ladders, giving us no time to avoid taking damage. You often can't even duck down to defeat the green slime monsters without accidentally climbing down the ladder, creating an even bigger problem. Some of this is due to the random level designs, but most of this can be blamed on the inadequate gameplay. While Vireo may be fast and responsive, he's just not equipped to avoid taking damage, especially in those early stages. He needs a shield or a block button, something that'll keep him safe as he searches for better equipment. On the other hand, once you've found a few upgrades and added some hearts to the life bar, you're practically unstoppable. There just isn't a whole lot of balance in Gunmetal Arcadia. To be fair to the developers, some of the other characters start with these advanced moves. Grackle, for example, will be able to slash up and down from the start, while Sterling is able to double jump. Or if you really want a challenge, perhaps go with Wayfarer, who starts with half a heart and the smallest sword you've ever seen. That said, I do wish there was more variety with these 5 different characters. Beyond 1 or 2 abilities, most of these heroes look and act the same. At least Gunmetal Arcadia looks the part. While a lot of developers attempt to create authentic retro visuals, Minor Key Games comes dangerously close to making it look identical to those 30-year-old RPGs. There are a few times when the illusion cracks, such as the pause font or the lack of any serious slowdowns or flickering sprites. But even then, Gunmetal Arcadia perfectly captures the spirit of those old 8-bit Nintendo Entertainment System games. It even has a customizable Crt mode for gamers who want to have the full nostalgia experience. The retro authenticity also extends to the chiptune soundtrack, which provides more than an hour's worth of 8-bit music. The songs here are catchy, and they truly feel like they could have been taken directly from an old NES cartridge. The presentation is easily the best part of this game. Although it looks and sounds the part, Gunmetal Arcadia is a retro-inspired action game that left me wanting more. I wish there was a deeper story, more interesting level designs, and a way to block cheap hits. There's a solid concept here, but it doesn't go far enough. This is yet another side-scrolling adventure game that left me disappointed. Hey, thanks for watching our review of Gunmetal Arcadia. Well, we've come to the end of our week filled with games inspired by The Legend of Zelda. We started the week off by reviewing Spirit Sphere, which combines Zelda with Windjammers. Then we tackled Blossom Tales, an upcoming adventure inspired by A Link to the Past. And now we have Gunmetal Arcadia. Next week is going to be just as busy with the official debut of Trivia Gate. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on the new game show, so I recommend you click the subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.